Zoe, can you pass me the tamarack branch? Mushum's gonna hold it. There.
How smooth that bark is.
This is a story from back in the days when the earth was very young and everything had a spirit, including the birds and the animals, the rocks and sky, the trees and the water. In the far north, the summer had changed to fall, and the fall was changing to winter. Some birds were flying south because the winter was coming, and the first great winter storm was coming. And to celebrate winter, the wind was having a big, cold blow. The birds were so cold, they were flying and they felt so cold, they looked for somewhere to rest. The only place they could see was the tall, tall tamarack trees. They looked so warm and the needles were soft as feathers. Do you have needles? Anyone have tamarack needles to touch? They're very soft. Now, the birds flew over to the tamarack trees and they said, "Please, tamarack trees, can we rest? Can we rest in your branches from the cold, cold, cold wind?" And for some reason that no one will ever know, the tamarack tree said, "No, no, your talking and your singing will keep us awake from our winter sleep, and you cannot rest in us. You must keep flying." And those poor, poor birds were so cold, and they had nowhere to go, so they just kept flying because the tamarack trees closed their branches to those birds. Oh, and the earth was very, very, very disappointed in the tamarack trees because they didn't help their brothers and sisters, the cold birds who were flying south. Oh, so the Mother Earth said to those tamarack trees, "Now when the winter comes, your needles will fall to the ground, just like the big leaf trees. Your needles will turn yellow and fall to the ground, and you will be cold too." And the tamarack trees woke up to all their needles falling to the ground. You see the needles falling? Look, the tamarack needles are all falling to the ground. Oh, and the tamarack trees felt very cold, and they also felt very sorry, for now they knew how those birds must have felt. But they got stronger. They got stronger from all that cold, cold weather and having no needles at all in the wintertime. But in the spring, their needles came back. And they still felt very sorry every winter when their needles fell to the ground. And the earth saw that they were sorry. And so the earth said, the tamarack trees, "Would you like to be helpful?" And the tamarack trees said, "Yes, yes, I would, we would." So the earth gave the tamarack trees many gifts and presents for the people. The needles, the medicine, the wood, and all of those things became very helpful. And one day an old man like me came walking along and saw a tamarack tree, and he rested against it and had a nice rest. And when he woke up from his rest, he had a dream about a walking stick that would make his walking more easy for him. And the tamarack tree said, "Please, I could be your walking stick." And the old man said, "Thank you, tamarack tree." And he took a branch and he peeled it and he cut it and he used it for his walking stick. And then he could walk, and the tamarack tree was so helpful. And that's the story of the tamarack tree. You see how the needles all fall to the ground?
Yeah.
Now, if you have something to say about needles or leaves, why don't you hold up a leaf or a needle for Mushum to see, and then he can listen to each one of you, okay? So if you've got something to say about a leaf or a needle, why don't you hold them up? up, okay? And then when Mushin points at you, you can tell him what you have to say.
Leaves fall on the ground when it falls.
They do. Yes. Okay.
When leaves get all cold, they start frosting down.
That's right. They do. Anybody else have something they want to say? Or we
When the cold, cold winter comes, they'll fall down.
When the cold winter comes, the leaves fall down. Yes, that's right. What about these ones? What happens to them in the cold, cold winter? Do they fall?
Their prickles fall down.
Do the prickles fall down on the green ones? Or do they
Yes.
stay all winter?
Fall.
What do you think?
Fall down.
I think only tamarack falls down. All the other ones, they stay green for the winter. The tamarack falls down, the needles, and these big leaves, they fall down. Can everyone put a leaf way up in the air and drop it down? There it goes, just like fall.
Come back.
Now, before, I'm going to go and have a rest, and I think the grown-ups are going to help you with some art. And do you think you could show me your art when I come back? I would love to see your art. Okay, Pishatmishko, children. Pishatmishko, you guys are very good at speaking. Okay, so I'm going to show you the art we're going to do. We're going to do a leaf rubbing and a needle rubbing. So you want to hold a leaf, and you want to find some needles that you like, and your teacher can maybe help pull some needles off, and we'll do some rubbings. And I'll get a big board so it's a nice smooth surface. Okay, we'll put this in the middle. We're all going to share this one board. And what I'd like you to do is, just on the edge of your board, put down a leaf, and beside it, put down some needles. And take the needles off of the branch, because you can't really rub a branch with a crayon and a paper. And I'd like you to turn your leaf upside down. So you'll see that the leaf has veins on the back side. And I want you to turn it upside down, like that. And can everybody take a deep breath? And out. And do you know that trees give us the air we breathe too? That's another present from the trees, because they breathe out the air that we breathe in. So if you go really near and you smell a tree, you're also going to get lots of oxygen from that tree. Okay, I'm going to get some paper and some crayons, and you can put your paper on top of the leaves.